Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. Another paid request. This time for Broad Stipe. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film called Comedown from 2012, which, I don't know, if I tame down this movie's throat, maybe it'd make it more easier to swallow for the sumbitch. Because I thought this film sucked. I thought this film was awful. It's funny, I talked to him on Facebook. He's like, what did you like about the film? He's like, I didn't. But maybe you'd be surprised because I did. He had requested another film, which I did end up liking, called Wilderness. I thought that was a nice surprise movie. I thought it was decently fast-paced. Entertaining sort of survival movie. Thought the cast did their jobs well. Some nice brutal moments. I liked Wilderness. I'd actually like to give that another watch. This, though, it's fucking boring. The characters I found completely unlikable. They kind of tell you the ending in the first 2 minutes where your lead is in a cop car and there's people going up these stairs that look like police officers, so you kind of already know where it's leading to. Really not much happens in the first like 45 minutes of the movie. It's a film that its characters seem like, remember that movie Attack the Block with John Boyega? It seemed like it wanted the characters to be like that. These type of thugs, hooligans, but you're supposed to like them. Which I didn't really even like the characters in that movie, but that's a better movie than this, I'll say that. And this, it just, the lead guy, and he has a pregnant girlfriend, and he has a buddy who's like a much bigger guy. I think the character's name was Cole or something. Like, they weren't too bad, but at the same time, I didn't give a whole lot of rat's ass about them. It's a group of people, about 5 or 6 of them, who go into this tower block that's abandoned. And they're going in there for this pirate radio station to set up some signals and help that station out. You kind of find out that one of the friends got the caretaker out by burning the guy's pigeons and burning the guy out. He said, well, I didn't know. I'm like, wow. What a great group of people already. Granted, the lead guy and some of they had nothing to do with that part, but anyway, like I said, you have the lead guy, you have his pregnant girlfriend, you have this other girl who just acts bitchy from time to time. You have the guy who's like the total asshole of the group. You have this big guy that's a bit more soft-spoken and probably seems like has a bigger heart compared to the other folks. And then you have the other guy that he's the one that burned up the pigeons and the caretaker steer him out. Burn him out. I think the guy got burned as well. There's a scene like when you see him ultimately, because lo and behold, the villain of the piece is that caretaker. And I'm like, man, a bunch of these people are just a bunch of fucking wankers. Ultimately, they get in, they set up the thing, they have this run-in with these 2 or 3 other thugs. And they run off, and then the 2 try to come back in, but then one is taken, and the other hears noise and runs off. The pregnant girlfriend gets taken. The lead's drink gets spiked by the asshole. And we're about like 45 minutes in, and that's all that's happened. 45 minutes. So even as a slasher film, you haven't even seen any fucking slashing for like 45 minutes. So even as a slasher film, it sucks on that front. Until ultimately, the 2 thugs that came in after him, one was taken, tied up, and cut up by the bad guy. The other gets stabbed in the neck through a door, and the other characters see it. the father searching for the lead guy's pregnant girlfriend. Why is the killer keeping the pregnant girlfriend alive? I don't know. It's never explained. There's never a point where he says or talks or says, "I got your girlfriend, come and get me. Come and get me at this place or this time or this floor." It's just keep her alive just because. And then, a couple people get killed off. I mean, the only positive I could say is, again, the lead guy wasn't too bad. He was in that film Overlord, but he was in it for like 5 minutes because he's one of the paratroopers at the beginning of the film that doesn't last too long. But, and maybe some of the lighting within the tower block, some of the way these scenes are lit, isn't too shabby. So I would say the lighting, they did what they could with this dilapidated, abandoned tower block. But it's not suspenseful, it's not scary, you don't really care much about the characters. There's really not much background or merit to each of these characters. And you get a couple death scenes, spoiler alert. The asshole gets the nail gun treatment, gets nail gun in the eye and stuff. Although they do this weird thing, which I don't know why, where the person's here, and then the camera pans, and then you see some blood. I don't know why it does that. Like the guy's like, "Oh," with some nails, and then the camera pans away. Well, actually, the poster's probably gonna be over here, so block it. Do you imagine it's reversed? So it's like the guy's on the right of the screen and pans to the left, but there's like, and then it pans away, and then you see a spurt of blood while you hear the nail gun hit the final target. Why does this pan? I have no idea. For why? It's like a weird choice. So then there were 4. So they go around the building. Some places are... they're trying to find a way to get out. At one point, there's a bit they're trying to get down. There's like a cage over it. They break it down. And the girl is scared by a bird. And they even say, "Don't run, it's just a bird." So you know there's a killer around. There's 3 guys there with you. You run away because you heard a bird. I guess the bird was the word. So she runs off by herself like a fucking idiot. Like a fucking moron. And she runs around like a chicken with her head cut off. Until she tries to do stuff with her phone. She gets found. She's knocked out. And ultimately she gets thrown down a shaft. Which you don't see any gore. You just see that she's fallen. You hear the impact when she lands at the bottom. So then there were 3. They find the caretaker's place. They find out who it is. The guy that burned the pigeons, and looks like burned a bit of caretaker before, he gets burned up on fire. There's some bad close-up shots of the guy on fire, which they didn't need. It looks like some bad like CG. But the wider shots, congrats to the stuntman, kudos. It's always tough to be on fire for any amount of time. So anyone that does that has, I give props to, because I know it's their job, but it still takes a lot of guts to do that. And then there were 2. So they find a caretaker guy, and the caretaker guy, he can't talk, but when he tries to speak, it sounds goofy. It sounds like a bird squawking. It sounded... at first I'm like, is he going to squeal like a pig? But it's like I'm like, just don't have him talk at all. Just makes it sound just goofy and unintimidating. And let's say the killer's not that intimidating. It's not that scary looking. I don't really feel the threat. And the two have the guy down. They're like, where is she? Where is she? And it clearly can see that he can't fucking talk. So I'd be like, fuck you. Just stab him in the face. Knock his block off. He looks, is like, what? Is she in there? And it's a box that's about this big and this tall. If she's there, it'd be like a bunch of... It'd be the fucking 7. It'd be the ending of 7. So right then I would go, she's dead, so I would just kill the guy. But also I would go, wait a minute, there's a chain going up and leading to the shaft behind. You know, before I touch this fucking box, what the hell is this chain leading to? I'd cautiously look at what this chain is, and if he did that, he would see that his girlfriend is tied down this shaft. So if they were smart, kill the guy, look at this, look at the chain, what's this chain connected to, so it's not a fucking jigsaw trap. But no, they're too fucking stupid. The one guy grabs the chain, so his girlfriend doesn't go down the shaft, and he's pulling it up. The other guy's fighting the caretaker. Ultimately, the caretaker villain throws the big guy over, and the guy gets impaled. It's like a bad effect of him falling. Like the background detail is very fake. And the impact is just him going, ugh. And then the camera pulls back to reveal he's been impaled. And then it's not even like a big fight. It's not even like a big battle or a big suspense scene where it's a cat and mouse chase. It's just trying to get her up these stairs. Caretaker pulls him down. He does something that cuts some of the guy's fingers off. By this point, there's a fire. Because, you know, he had the one guy on fire. The guy squeals like a bird, squawking like a bird. Whereas again, sounds fucking ridiculous and stupid. And then that's it. You just see him, and you see some fire. And you could tell he gets away because you don't see the guy get stabbed or shot or impaled or the fire land on him or anything. It's just the two go down. They get outside. They look. There's a little explosion. So you don't see the killer die, so you know he's alive. The cops come by. They accuse the lead guy. He gets arrested and put behind, not behind bars, like looks like in a padded room, nut house. The girlfriend, I guess because she had a head injury, she doesn't remember everything. So she must have learned from James Franco in Spider-Man 3. I know that does happen, but it's like, oh, okay. How convenient that she has enough cognitive to go down the stairs, but then as soon as the cops come, then she passes out, and then it's like, oh, she's awake, but she doesn't remember anything. Because her testimony would have helped. And then she has the baby, and then the killer is outside of her room like a janitor. Why? I mean, he already got his revenge. Like the guy who burned him up, he burned him. The one guy's in a padded room. I mean, if you want to see a movie that takes place in a tower block, go watch Tower Block. That's another British film. This is a British film that's about a group of people hunted by a sniper. They're in a tower block, and they can't go outside, and they have to be careful of the windows because the sniper has a draw on them, and it's a nice suspense thriller. Tower Block. Underrated movie. I think that came around the same time period. So go watch Tower Block. See No Evil with Kane from WWE. I think just that was in a dilapidated building. Is about people cleaning stuff up. That's a more intimidating killer. I thought the death scenes had a bit more life to them. That felt like a bit faster, more fun of a slasher film. Definitely had more of a satisfying ending. And forget See No Evil 2, that film sucks. But I'm talking about just the first See No Evil. That's not a flawless film, but for WWE and horror films, it's actually not too bad. I had fun with it. And Kane works as a villain in that movie. Just See No Evil 2, this just went into stupid directions. And it didn't need a sequel. But yeah, this film, unlikable characters, boring pace, no kills in the first 45-50 minutes. And then the kills they do have, nail gun, I'll watch My Bloody Valentine, the original. Person throw down a shaft, A guy just thrown out the window in a bad effect when he's falling. Guy just burned up. I mean, I guess you technically say each kill is at least different. It's not just the same stab, stab, stab. But do you see them in... If you like slasher films, you see them in 50 other fucking movies that have a bit more either charm, or so bad's good, or entertainment factor, or something to make you laugh, or intrigue, or even likable characters, or music that really... either a good score or a catchy song. This doesn't have any of that. There's no charm to this movie. There's no fun to this movie. Then you have like a lousy, lackluster ending with not even like a big... Like the lead doesn't get into a big fight with the villain and blah blah. No. Like no big cat and mouse chase. It just... Again, the villain itself is just really lame. Caretaker guy that... Again... cries like a fucking bird. Is the bird's the word? Well, you can have this bird. How about that? Here's a bird for you. Movie. Take 2 birds and 1 stone. Come down. Yeah, I'm gonna come down your fucking throat, movie. How about that? It's the final countdown. How about that, you bitch? Talk about the movie. But thank you, Broadstipe, once again. This movie can go fuck itself. And it can suck my balls. Later.